Yo, what is up, everybody? This is Bro Gets Rich. Today I'm going to give you an update on my MSTY position. This is a highly contested stock in the Bitcoin space. So long story short, this is a very high yielding, very highly volatile, as you can see from this chart from YieldMax. Basically, it just writes covered calls, has a mix of assets, and utilizes like options income to pay a hefty dividend on Michael Saylor's stock strategy. So I'm just going to give you an update on my full position, what my total return is on it, look at my dividend growth on it. If you are holding this, and I am not, none of this is financial advice, this is not going to outperform Bitcoin. This is purely for income, and it is a very small position of mine. But passive income, if you follow this channel, is one thing that I need to work on for myself to kind of like get out the rat race. So I am actively trying to earn a lot more passive income. But let's get into my position. And as you can see, like as the time I shot this video, the yield on this per year was almost 74%. So this is my total position. I have 78 or just over 78 shares valued at $1,658.83. It is 5% of this passive income portfolio. And you can see my total return on the equity position is down $91.17. But as the time, as of recording this video, I have received $111.56 worth of payments from MSTY, right? And so I'm up roughly $20. So nothing to brag about here. I think the real debate people have with these YieldMax stocks, you know, because they do them on Nvidia, they do them on Tesla, they do them on Coinbase, they do them, like there's funds for a lot of different things. But you can see they're all highly volatile. They're also pretty new. You know, this is from inception, went straight up, and then it's basically chopped up and down. So I think the real question is are they going to kind of level out? Are they going to kind of find their value? And then if they do kind of level out and stop bleeding, which, you know, I got it in a decent time, I'm not down a crazy amount from these like peaks and troughs, will the dividend over time start to negate the kind of decay of the stock? So like I said, it's not a huge position for me. I will keep you posted. I'm definitely going to keep updating this. I did buy a little more because it is down. And I can't remember what I've done with all the dividends so far. I'm not reinvesting them into MSTY. I'm pretty sure I'm just buying like you know, if I make $60 a month or $70 a month, I'm just gonna buy Bitcoin or some other, you know, QQQI or something else, something either pure Bitcoin or some other dividend stock that's a little bit more stable and also high yielding. So that is a position. I will keep you updated on it as these dividends grow and I add a little. I'm just kind of like buying little bits of dips. I definitely don't want to get this position more than, you know, $3,000, $4,000. Like that's plenty for me to put into this, because I do think, well, the payouts are good. It's kind of an experiment, and it's definitely, like I said, not going to outperform Bitcoin in any way. Purely an income play. But speaking of Bitcoin, let's go through some news that I have rounded up from X on Bitcoin, which is one of my favorite growth assets. And getting into some bullish news on Bitcoin, the first post we have is that $50 billion payments giant Square has just turned on Bitcoin Lightning payments for its first merchants, and that 4 million sellers are about to accept BTC. Not that they necessarily will accept all those payments in BTC, that is kind of up to the customers, but they have the ability to, and gotta love Jack Dorsey and Block. Got a tweet from Marty Party, Bitcoin Basics 2025. The 4-year cycle is long gone. The 2020 bear market was created by the previous government to try to stop Bitcoin. It failed. Bitcoin is absorbing fiat to at least 2050. The new administration is on board. The system is moving to hard money. This is a good thing. It will solve all of our problems. And so there's definitely some truths here. You know, the new administration is on board. Bitcoin is going to absorb fiat. The system is moving to hard money. Whether or not the 4-year cycle is completely gone, we do not know. We're just going to have to wait and see. I personally think that we're not going to have a crazy bear market. Just going to have some, you know, maybe 20-30% drops and consolidations, and then just kind of push up and to the right until we get to some sort of major supply crunch, and who knows when that will be. Another post from Bitcoin Magazine. If you bought Bitcoin with your $1,400 stimulus check in 2020, you would now have over $21,000. And so this is the power of Bitcoin. You know, this is what I like to see when I look at my all my different Bitcoin holdings over the years, and I look at the percentages that each of those positions are up. You know, if you have a long-term perspective, Bitcoin is the way to hold money, in my opinion, not financial advice. A really cool post from the legend Samson Mao. With alts, the trade is selling before everyone else. With Bitcoin, the trade is buying before everyone else. And this is the reason why I'm pretty much out of all alts. I'm not really sure if I'll ever buy another altcoin ever again. And it's also the reason why I just buy Bitcoin every single day. And this is a pretty bullish post. Don't know who this is, Adam Livingston. Bitcoin is going much, much higher. 120K Bitcoin, and the major players haven't even started yet. And then they are listing off some of these players: Nakamoto, 21, ProCap, which is the company that Anthony Pompliano is heading. Between these 5 companies, destined to be massive permanent buying pressure. And this doesn't even have strategy on there. Michael Saylor, which he says right here, let alone strategy, eating up 2 weeks of minor issuance in a single buy last week. Prepare for liftoff. So obviously at the time I'm recording this video, Bitcoin is like at 115. The stock market's dumping a little bit. But we do know that, ProCap, Pompliano is going to buy a bunch. DJT is Donald Trump and his sons. We don't know what's going to happen there, but the one that I'm really interested in is 21, which is Jack Mallers' Tether, and I believe Howard Lutnick's company. And they are really trying to buy a ton of Bitcoin. They already have like 40,000, and they are trying to build a new financial system on top of Bitcoin. So that is the one that I am really, really excited about. And there's just so much buying happening between all these treasury companies and 21 coming in, and the ETFs and individuals and sovereign wealth funds. So really, really exciting time to be in Bitcoin. The next 5 or 10 years are going to be absolutely crazy. This is from Vijay Boyapati, who wrote the bullish case for Bitcoin. He said, Coinbase has somehow managed to establish the largest market share in the US with some of the worst customer service and worst customer experiences that I've ever heard. Sad. And so, yeah, I'm definitely, not neither one way or another. I mean, definitely got to give respect to Coinbase and what they've built. And I'm also, would it be lying, if I wasn't a little salty about not buying some Coinbase at like $30 or $40 a couple years ago when it was down in the bear market. But with that being said, they don't have a great reputation, and I'm definitely looking to be getting, any shrapnel I have left off of there within the next 6 months, and kind of just exit Coinbase permanently. And the fees are just too much, and I'm just constantly being fished via text and email, and it's just not, it's not for me. So, post from Sean Harris: fastest assets in the world to reach 2 trillion. Microsoft 46 years, Apple 44 years, Nvidia 31 years, Amazon 30 years, Bitcoin 16 years, and Bitcoin is just getting started. So Bitcoin is the fastest asset to reach a $2 trillion market cap in the history of humanity. And that is kind of enough said on that. So let me know down in the comments what you think about the video, what you think about Bitcoin, what you think about MSTY. Like I said, none of this is financial advice, and I'll catch you next time, where I'm going to keep posting about passive income and Bitcoin. I am Bro Gets Rich. Peace out.